Okay, hi, welcome back to a new video. So as you would have seen from the title and the thumbnail, today's video is going to be about me reading my 2024 anticipated releases. So this has been a long time coming. If you were here since 2023, I have done quite a few episodes for my 2023 anticipated releases, so I'll link them up above for you if you're interested. But I believe this is the first time I'm doing it for 2024 and it's August, so I have a lot of catching up to do. I think I will introduce the books as I go along, just to maintain some sense of mystery. And I got a new mic, oh my gosh. Yeah, so the first book that I have since finished for this video is Happily Never After by Lynn Painter. Lynn Painter wrote quite a few books, of which I have read most of them. I love Better Than the Movies. Mr. Wrong Number was okay, The Do-Over was good, The Love Wager was good also. I think from her books, I'm only left with Betting on You, Better Than the Prom, and Accidentally Amy. So this book is really short, as you can see. It's about Sophie Steinbeck and Max. They first come to know each other through Sophie's wedding. She wants to get out of the wedding, but she can't call it off officially because her father is employed by her father-in-law basically. So if she calls it off, she is convinced that her father-in-law will find some way to fire her father. So through her friend, she hires a wedding objector. Anyway, she wants to get out of the wedding because her fiancé cheated on her not once but twice. So she hired Max, the wedding objector, to object at her wedding and also claim or state that her fiancé has been cheating, so as to give reasons to call off the wedding and pin it all on her fiancé. And from there, they slowly start to get acquainted with each other, in that Sophie is kind of intrigued by the whole wedding objection business and starts to go along with Max to all these different wedding gigs and to act as wedding objectors. From this, they discover that they have a lot of physical chemistry with each other, so they are also learning how to deal with that because Sophie is very set on love not existing, and Max is slowly falling in love with her. Max comes from the point of view that love exists but it's very difficult to come by, so there's that whole element going on as well. Let's talk about trigger warnings. So trigger warnings for sexual content, infidelity, cursing, toxic relationship, alcohol, violence, vomit, emotional abuse, and abandonment. And okay, I decided to give this 3.25 stars because I didn't really enjoy this one in a sense. I couldn't feel the chemistry between the two main characters. They keep talking about, oh, our physical chemistry is through the roof, it's amazing, but I really didn't care and it didn't come through to me from reading about their story. There were a lot of plot points where I was kind of super bored by. Okay, there's the whole thing about Sophie not believing in love, right? And then she's actually falling in love with Max, but it's taking time for her to come to that realization. So there will be a lot of scenes where Sophie is she doesn't really like him that way, right? In multiple iterations, and I'm just I can't do this. I can't keep waiting for you to finally come down to the realization that we all know. But yeah, that's what happens. And then this one was after reading through some of the other Goodreads reviews, and I kind of agree with it as well, in that in some point in the book, they decide to make it quite obvious to everyone that they know that they are just friends, but then is there something more? And Sophie actually works in HR. She is aiming for the VP position of HR, but the current VP, before she retires, she wants Sophie to show to her that she has a life outside of work and that she is not too hung up on her fiancé having cheated on her, because her fiancé actually works at the same company, before she is willing to make the recommendation that Sophie is suitable for the position, which is I didn't know personal life comes into work as well. But yeah, for Max, it's because he is a Nepo baby, so he is in the family business of construction, and before his dad is willing to retire, he kind of hinges on his mom actually, because his mom can't rest assured that he is ready for the company unless he has a significant other. And it's okay, Nepo baby Hallmark movie kind of style, but yeah, I was just kind of bored reading this, except for the wedding objector thing, which was the whole point why I was interested in this, and also because it's by Lynn Painter. But yeah, it's kind of not the best Lynn Painter I've ever read. I think it's kind of one of the lower ones that I've enjoyed already. One of the ones that I didn't enjoy as much. So kind of sad because it's one of my anticipated releases, but 3.25 stars is still not a very bad rating. Hopefully it can only go up from here. So I'll come back and update when I have started reading the next anticipated release. Okay, hi! So I'm coming back to update this video because I've finished the next book, my next anticipated release of 2024, and that is Bride by Ali Hazelwood. So this is again very kindly sent to me by Times Reads. Thank you so much. Ali Hazelwood is kind of like one of my favorite authors because I've read so many of her works and enjoyed a lot of them. These are my tabs so far, and this is her first... Can you see the tabs? Ah yes, you can see like that. This is her first paranormal romance. Basically, it's about Misery Luck, who is the daughter of a powerful vampire councilman. She has been living anonymously among the humans. So in this world, there are vampires, humans, and wares, like werewolves. What's different is that vampires in this story are spelled with a Y and not an I. So she has been living anonymously among humans until she has been called upon to uphold an alliance between the vampires and their mortal enemies, the Wares, as a bride. So she will be marrying the Wares Alpha, so like the leader of the pack, who is Lo Moreland. He is ruthless and unpredictable. Normally she wouldn't have agreed to this, but she went through with it because of her own personal reasons that I don't really want to spoil. Through this marriage of convenience, they get to know each other better and their relationship develops from there. Okay, so trigger warnings for sexual content, blood, violence, kidnapping, death of parents, abandonment, death, confinement, and war. And in the end, I decided to give this 4.5 stars, which I was kind of surprised by because I wasn't expecting to like this. I don't know why, I just had my own reservations about paranormal romances, which is kind of weird because I love the Shadowhunter world. But anyway, that's not the point. The writing in this was good, and I really liked the audiobook for this. So if anything, I really recommend listening to the audiobook and reading at the same time. Like all my tabs, right, are mostly funny or romantic. So it's like I thought I would be a bit turned off by this because of like the cliches of like werewolves being very possessive and things like that. But I thought that it was handled very, very well, in that I was very absorbed in their story and very much rooting for their relationship. The plot was quite interesting also. It's not like a very typical plot because there's more things going on, like the reason why she decided to accept the marriage, the political tension between vampires and wares, which is also a very surprising thing because I don't like politics in books. But apparently in the paranormal setting, I'm okay. The relationships that she comes to form with the wares in this story, the characters are also really fleshed out, and I'm like, yes, I like that. I was just completely won over by Lo Moreland. And one very, very crucial thing in this story is that Lo has a little sister who is like 6 or 7, and his relationship with her is super freaking cute. Like, okay, I can give like a spoiler that's like freaking minor. So Lo and Misery were having a conversation at night, and while they were talking, he suddenly starts to spread peanut butter and jelly onto slices of bread to make a PB&J sandwich, and then he cuts off the crust. And then Misery was just thinking like, oh okay, cut off the crust for yourself to eat. That's what she used to do for her sister, her foster sister. But then turns out he was doing it in preparation because Lo's sister is called Anna. Anna came running to him towards the end of the conversation because she had a nightmare, and he was soothing her, and something along the lines of Anna asking like, do you cut off the crust? So he was making a sandwich for her because he knew that she would want it after she woke up from her nightmare. Freaking cute. But this is not a 5-star because, okay, for one, the chapters were pretty long and I don't really like super long chapters, and some things that were happening in here were quite cliche and that I could guess. So it wasn't that like mind-blowingly, I'm so shook, this is amazing kind of book, but it was a really enjoyable read. I'm glad that things are taking a turn for the better from Happily Never After. Yeah, I really enjoyed like learning more about the world in this, in like, for example, how do vampires drink blood? in this story? Like, do they drink from humans? Do they drink from bears? Do they have to eat from animals? Do they consume food? Things like that. And it was very, very interesting to find out about. Same for bears, like how do they shift? What happens when they shift? How often do they shift? That kind of thing. So yeah, maybe I should read more paranormal romance. If you have any recommendations, please let me know. Really, really recommend. Might be one of my favorites this year. And okay, I've started reading the next book. I'm gonna share the next tip when I finish that book. But yeah, I think that's gonna be a good turnout also. Oh wait, I came back because another reason why I didn't give this a full 5 was because the tension between them was really good. But I also feel like at certain scenes, it gives me the impression that Lo has an ankle fetish, which I'm like, not the best. It wasn't even confirmed. I just like, it gave me like a slight, not ick, but like a discomfort. But other than that, he's very, very like A-star male main character. I really enjoyed reading about all the alpha cliches, but also played out very well, if that makes sense. I don't want to say too many spoilery things because I really want you to read this and not know as much as you can because it's so good. Yeah. Okay, bye-bye. Hi, coming back to update because I have finished my next and final anticipated read for this video because we are doing 3 books, and that is Funny Story by Emily Henry. So these are all my tabs. I'm not sure if you can see. And I also wrote notes in the book when I had things to say. Let me try and find some more. So like one of my most annotated books in a while, because I don't know, it just gave me the vibe that I wanted to do it, you know. And I also wrote in the book for the first time ever because I wanted to just write 2 words on the page, and I didn't think that a post-it was needed because that's too much effort. And I don't think I will unhaul this book because I love it. Spoiler alert. But yeah, let's give you trigger warnings for this book. Trigger warnings for sexual content, abandonment, emotional abuse, toxic relationship, infidelity, alcohol, drug use, and child abuse. This story is about Daphne, who was about to get engaged to the love of her life, Peter, and she always loved the way that Peter told their story until it became the prologue to his actual love story with his childhood best friend Petra. The worst thing about all of this, right, is that he was at his bachelor's party and Petra, the best friend, was there. And then the next morning, he came back to Daphne and told her that I'm in love with Petra, I need to call off our wedding. One thing led to another, we were both like drunk trying to sober up. Then things got messy, we realized that we love each other. We're gonna give you a week. Can you please move out of their shared home that was under Peter's name? Oh my god. Yeah, so such an asshole move. And then Daphne was forced to move out. With nowhere else to go, she ends up rooming with her total opposite and the only person who could possibly understand her situation, which is Petra's ex, Miles. A few months later, they both get wedding invitations to Peter and Petra's wedding. Inviting them to the wedding, like, that's such a dumbass move. Like, why would you even do that, right? But yeah, okay. And then in a fit of anger, impulse, whatever, Daphne ends up telling Peter that, oh yeah, I'm definitely going to the wedding. I'm not going alone, I'm going with my boyfriend, who is Miles. And then that's when they start to fake a relationship together, and that's when the story goes deeper. But it's so much more than that also. I'm so pleasantly surprised by this book. Other than that, she is in the town, right? She plans to attend the wedding, finish up her things at the library that she was working at. There's this big event that she's planning. She plans to finish that all up, and then she wants to move away from this town because it reminds her too much of Peter. But then Miles is like, no, don't move away. You don't need to move away. There's so much more to this town that is more than just Peter. So he starts to bring her around, trying to convince her that this town is worth it and things like that. And then she forms relationships with people in the town. And it's so cute to see. And it's not just a fluffy romance. I mean, from the first part about the cheating alone, it's definitely not a fluffy romance really, but both characters have complicated relationships with their family that is so raw and messy, and just throughout it, I love how both characters are there for each other. And Miles really just changed my mind, because at the start when I was reading this book and she was rooming with him, I was like, okay, not the kind of male main character that I would normally like to read about. so I probably won't feel too much for Miles, but oh my god, no man, totally changed my mind within like 1/3 of the book, maybe not even 1/3. Like the things that he does with Daphne, I'm just like, holy shit, like this guy, he's a hugger, he quit weed because of something that Daphne said. I don't know, he just notices all the very small things, like he bought coffee for her once, then she's like, I'm not a chai person, then the next time he bought her chai. Freaking cute, and he's like a freaking popular ass person in town. All the older ladies love him. When he shaves off his beard, all the younger ladies love him. Like he has a charm on everybody. Children love him. It's just, I love small town stuff and all the characters in it also. So this was very, very good. It surprised me in a lot of ways. So I am gonna say that this is my favorite Emily Henry because my rating of it is 4.75 stars, which is higher than any I've ever read. Which I'm like, oh my god, how is she gonna top this now? Because this is my favorite. And I don't think I'm gonna be in the majority when I say that this is one of my favorites of hers, because I think other people generally like her other books better. But I don't know, I really like this one. So good end to the video because we went on an increasing scale. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, please give this video a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to my channel to see more of such content. I hope you're having a great day or a great week whenever or wherever you're watching. Remember to stay hydrated, and I'll see you in my next video. I'm so happy! Okay, sorry, this is after the outro already. But it's like my other 5 star after quite a long time. Okay.